Hey everybody, this is Rick. I'm still gonna do a little programming offline to try to implement this change here. I put this in the Keynote, but if you remember when we last left off our program, actually let's start it up. So when we run the game now, every time we pick a letter, that letter gets a mark on the keyboard. Now, I'm calling this dimmed keywords, but it doesn't really work that way. It's just marked with an underscore. But we now have the ability to mark the keyboard. I put in price, and you can see the letters P, R, I, C, and E they have underscores to indicate that we picked these letters and we played them already. And of course we want to extend it so that if we have it selected and it's green, we mark it green. You could see how this is going to make it look like the game that you play on your app or on the Times website. And so what we've done is we've taken the letter keyboard and we've given each letter a 3-character block section so that we can fill it in. But right now, the way that we do the code is not like that. Right now, what we do is we take the entire keyboard row, which is this thing, and we loop through it. And if we loop through it and find that it's in the use letters array, then we put underscores on it. We make a string of this whole keyboard row, and then we display the entire string. Clearly, what we need to do is loop through the key row and print the string with an underscore or with an attribute, similar to how we do the GuessRows when we do the addNewGuess. And what that means is that if we're going to draw things one at a time using addString2 with content, you can see the line number is going to, the line number is going to change based on some offset. We're going to have to do it in a loop like this that takes advantage of an offset. And luckily for us, we've already worked through that logic where the offset is 4. But here I'm going to use the keyboard, which doesn't have this underscore. So for us, the offset I'm going to put here, offset equal 3. Now that's not going to work on this because these cells are 1 character each. But I think I know how to do this without getting into too much trouble, and I will go off screen and attempt to do this. But we are just transforming code that's already been written, which is this draw keyboard. We're going to revamp it so that it draws each character of the keyboard row in its own 3-cell block, And we're going to initially use the underscores, but probably in the next session we'll convert it to use attributes like the different colors we have. And that's when we go finally into dealing with the just dealing with the coordination between the guess row and the keyboard. But this is a little bit of a step, and it's something that should be straightforward to do, but I'm going to try to do it now. And I do want to mention that I've been thinking I've been offline in addition to this stuff, which is this programming I'm doing. I have been working also on this other stream, which I will do later in this evening, which is playing with Unix. I just like the idea of just chatting away and talking about what I'm doing in front of the command line. And I just installed a new version of the Raspbian OS on my old Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to talk about what I installed initially on a new Unix system. So that's in a separate stream. Again, check it out in my channel. Look for some notification of some kind. And right now I'm going to go off screen and I'm going to go try to code this little thing up so that, again, instead of printing out a whole row as a string, we're going to have lots of these little ones separated by these offsets. We'll see how far I get. never know what is going to be hard, what is going to be easy. This one turned out to be easy. You could see that we have, if we look at what we change, I want to show these changes here. Yeah, we have this offset here. We have this loop I, and it's supposed to be diagonal, but you can see I've lost the diagonal. Oh, the offset. Yeah, that first offset after this one is going to have to be off by 1. So here offset is 3, but we have to offset the offset by 1. But we'll express that, I think, like this. I is the key row, so its offset is I. And what this should do is in this loop I should be fixed, but in this loop I should go from 1 to 3, but from 0 to 2. And the first time it'll display the keyboard row, the second time it'll display it 1 across with the offset being 3, and in the second time, the third time, it will display it with offset number of 2. So what that will do is it'll give us the QAZ offset the way we want it. And the other thing is that the offset here is 3. I'm getting away with it. I totally forgot that this loop is only occurring once, because there's only these keyboard rows. And in this keyboard row, it only does this exactly once. So this should fix the keyboard row, and I'm going to put the offset to be initially 0, but I am going to recompile this. And actually, after this works, I hope you can follow along what's happening here. We're drawing 3 rows. These rows are the keyboard rows, and we're pushing it over one. We're pushing it over 1 character every row. But I'm not anywhere close. This for loop should be over. Yeah, so you could see this is good. It's better. I believe it's what we have. Oh, I wish I. Oh, I think I have it in my commit here. Yeah, so it looks good here, and it looks good in here. So the offset is right. We're going to have to name this something else just so that it's not confusing. Offset is going to change. K is going to change. I is going to be fixed on the row. And so what that means is we're going to change this to, we'll just change this to row. Let's see if I can, row. I don't like that it gave that a certain, it kind of highlighted that thing, but maybe because it's not. So anywhere there's an I, I'm going to replace it with row. gosh, I hope this is going to give me what I want. If I rebuild this, let's see if this builds, and then if this does build, then let me do the rest of the changes off screen. But let's see if this builds and gives us the same thing that what we had before. We just renamed the variable from I to row. Okay, good. So that worked. Yeah, I don't know if that's a function of the enumerated, but don't think I have that anywhere else. Let me just look at another case of enumerated. Main curses mock guess row. Let me do this. Yeah, I see. I think it's okay. Let's look at this one. CR. Yeah, it just is odd that it colors that first variable different from the second variable. The first variable is the index, and I'm renaming it just so that it's easy for me to look at this. And what this means is that we can now do something like, yeah. So let me go off screen and implement the changes to the offset, and you'll see what I'm going for. Yeah, actually, let me commit this so that it's clear what we're doing. Curses mock. This way we can sort of follow what we were doing. What is it here? It used to be I, right? Yeah. Okay, so now let's go off screen. Let's go and make this change so that we pick each letter and draw them one at a time. So right now this loop is only working 3 times. It's not really doing much. So I'm going to change that. once again, this is the level of difficulty is increasing slightly. I knew that this would not work. This is a this error. I would not have predicted this is what the error would look like, but again, if you keep track of what we're doing inside of keyrow, we are just assembling this string one at a time and adding to it like this. Essentially, we have to rebuild the string, I believe, like this. And yeah, and that should allow all the things to be drawn properly. So all the letters to be drawn properly. So let's see if that works. And this is kind of hacking, but it was clear what I needed to do. Again, I didn't do it offline, so let's see what this gives us. I think for reference, I'll bring up the, yeah, this is what we're supposed to have here. Okay, that's right. So this is correct. And what we're going to do is if a letter is chosen, it's going to have underscores in it. So well, that logic should still be correct. B-A-L-M-Y, balmy. But now, instead of these underscores, let's just put in an attribute. We're going to set the attribute to be something like a color pair. I think maybe this one here should have a color pair that I can use, like green or yellow, but maybe let's just do yellow for now, just to have it, and let's see what that gives us. Okay, we're gonna see if this code works. You could see that if the letter is been played, I'm gonna color it with yellow. Did not work. And I think I know why. Yeah, I again botched the window. Yeah, if this works, then I'm going to stop here because and then I'll then explain what needs to happen and why I'm not going to do it until maybe a few days from now, because I want to think about how to do this. It could just be that I'll just stop with this. So you can now see with this, the color is now, the keyboard is now colored properly. And in fact, we could add this implementation. We can just do it this way, so the underscores are not shown. And I think, if I remember right, there's a color. I can use a different color here, like brown. Let's, of course, it's color brown. Boy, that seems like a complete mistake here, but maybe magenta. Let's put in magenta. Put it in here. I think that's all I need to draw the color. So let's see if magenta is what I'm thinking of. I think it's a blue or a red, but yeah, I'm not a designer, so color and the color wheels are just not super clear in my mind. But I can write code, and we can see for ourselves once it finishes compiling. It's not bad. It shows the letters that were played, and it's a little garish, but I'm slowly getting used to it. Let me do another one, aware. So you can see which letters you have remaining. That's the goal of this. And cyan. I think that's a blue. I think in Keynote I have a color wheel. Yeah, if I click on this, yeah, so cyan. So we have cyan, and what are the other two colors that I have here? Not a lot. See, I would like for there to be brown, but we don't define it. And I know we can create our own, but yeah, so we're using magenta, cyan. You know what, white. Why didn't I think of white before? Makes perfect sense. Did that. Now let's go see what this looks like with the white. If this looks good, then we'll commit this thing, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm afraid to code, which I'm not really afraid, but I will need to take a break so I can think about this other stream, which will be a little bit more chill than this. Yeah, that works. Wow, I'm challenging myself to come up with all the 5-letter words that will consume the entire keyboard. The thing is, you can do that, but you have to repeat, and that is the part that's hard. Like, we can get the Q and the K with quick, but I've already used the C and the K, and now I'm down to 1. Anyway, that's a game for somebody else to write. That's not nearly as fun as Wordle. But what we want to do is, if a letter has been determined to be in the correct spot, or if a letter has been determined to be in the word but not in the correct spot, we want the color to reflect that. Now, we made the smart decision of bringing the model into the view, so we can interrogate the model. We can look at each guess row and see the letters instead of having this used letters business. I'm actually going to remove this comment here. We don't need the used letters. We can just interrogate the guess rows themselves. So the loop in here could potentially be instead of used letters array, it could just loop the guess rows and check whether the letter is in there. But what's difficult about that is that the letter row class, the guess row class does not have a way to implement whether a object is inside of something. And let me actually, I'm gonna do this quick check. I think because maybe if I can implement collections, maybe there's a protocol that I can use to declare that my class has a the ability to do this is terrible, that there could be something that I can declare or conform to state that my class of GuessRow has the in function. This is not going to happen, is it? Am I on the internet? That'd be funny if I wasn't on the internet, but I was somehow still streaming. I don't know what's happening here. Well, I found that there is a way to change a sequence to a collection by, I guess, yeah, type alias collection where base collection, but it's an extension. So what about protocols? I thought we did protocol programming in Swift. Anyway, I was thinking maybe I could write some code so that I could do something like this. Like some logic that does something like if k in GuessRow, where k is some letter, and I would then do some work in my class to then be passed in the string and then loop through and check to see if the letter matches and then return that. But I'm gonna go offline, and by offline I mean not on the computer, and see if that's an option. But really we have to go and coordinate between the GuessRow and the keyboard and the use characters. And the other idea that I've had kicking around was, well, when we're here and we update the new row, when we do the addNewGuess and we do this thing, what we can do is just add it to a dictionary, and that dictionary would have as its key the capital letter, but have as its value the actual letter from the GuessRow. So those are things to explore, but that's for another time. I will now commit this, because that's not bad looking to me. At least it makes it more manageable. Like now I know T, Y, F, and J with this. So let me go and commit this thing. This model. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. And I will now push this, and I will sign off. Remember, in about an hour, I'm going to go on screen again. Hour and a half. Go on screen and talk about some Debian things that's been on my mind and other Linux bits. It's going to be a little bit more free form. I'm still working out how this is going to look, but for those of you looking at this Wordle game and seeing how it's getting built, and I hope you're enjoying it. I do appreciate you checking this out. Definitely, I really do. And I will catch up with everybody in the next stream or some other stream. Thank you very much.